That's what I boldly predict. Hey, what's up? It's Sean with the Sean Realty. I hope you guys are doing well. Today I'm going to touch on the biggest question right now is whether we're going to have a housing market crash because of this pandemic or not. A lot of the buyers are wondering, a lot of the sellers are wondering, when is a good time to list? Can I still sell? Can I still buy? And I'm going to give you the answer right now because everybody's busy. And you don't have to listen to all the 13 reasons why we're not going to have a housing market crash. Here it is, my prediction. Yeah. So we are not going to have a housing market crash because of this pandemic. There you go. And I could be completely wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right on this. Slightly appreciating, slightly depreciating, plus minus 3, maybe 4%, but nothing more than that. There's a higher chance that price will go up about a year from now. That's my prediction. Now you can go. If you wanna still watch more because you're interested, please stay tuned and let me know what you think about it. Whether Sean is crazy, just like his hair is going crazy like 70s. Or, he's onto something. Here we go. Number 13. About 60% of the unemployment filed folks are age under 24. And I don't think age under 24 homeownership rate is more than maybe 3% in the whole country. I mean, at age 24, you have a shitload of debt, school loan, and you're trying to figure out your life and try to get jobs. It's a tough time, but it's exciting time too. But not many really people under 24 own homes. So you can see that, when you see that big unemployment, they say it's like a Great Depression level or even worse. Now that number doesn't directly relate to the home ownership and the mortgage default. Number 12. There is a report that the mortgage payment delinquency is going up. However, before they have to foreclose on that, which means they have option to extend like 6 months the mortgage payment forbearance, and then you can extend another 6 months after that. So it's about a year. The reason why it's not going to go that far is because of a lot of the homeowners have equity built up. So my prediction is that if it gets really bad and they have to really get close to, they extend it 6 months and other 6 months and they still can get back on track of paying back, then they can sell it. Before that happens, I think people will sell it. The question is, will those homes flood the market or not? My answer is no, because right now the inventory is really low to begin with. Demand is really high. All I'm saying is if the homeowners want to get out of the house, they can just sell before foreclosure process happens because there's enough equity. So number 11, so since we talked about the unemployment, e-commerce, oil price, and the industry change. So in 2008, when we had the housing market crash, the internet and e-commerce section was really at infancy. They're saying about 40% of the jobs will not come back even after pandemic is done. Service industry, hotel industry, travel industry, the big box stores have been getting hit by Amazon and online retailers quite a bit. You probably noticed a lot of a big grocery store type of spaces are empty. That's been happening for the last 3-4 years now. Now the good news is the e-commerce, so that regular people who lost jobs in those industry can actually convert into something else. Much better situation to be able to make money selling products online, selling services online. It's much easier than before in 2008. 2008, the job situation was really bad, and we didn't have the internet power, the e-commerce power to do something your own. Oil price. In 2008, oil price was about $160 per barrel. Right now it's close to $20 a barrel. So there's no, economical double whammy for regular folks who have to use the car to get the work done. At least there's no big high oil price burden to people, which is a big relief. So my next point that ties to the e-commerce and everything is that Americans are really adaptive, very resilient, very creative, and America is really rich, and we'll find a way with the help of the internet and e-commerce. And there's going to be a big industry shift, but we're going to come out of it, and we'll have a hopefully better industry, better economy. So because of the job shift, the industry shift, it's going to be somewhat dependent on the location. So we have Intel, Nike, OHSU, and the people will want the faster computer, more powerful phones, so they can do the e-commerce at home. And now big companies are letting their employees work at home as well. So the tech is going to go really strong. I think people will invest in that more because time is money, right? More servers. Nike, I think, is going to be great because it's very motivational company, because people who are in the exercise, the sports industry, they motivate people to do exercise and everything. And they're really, strong company. OHSU, I mean, medical industries are going to stay strong no matter what. I mean, they're the frontline soldiers for us, in a sense, against the virus, the enemy that we can't see. Areas like Portland is going to be just fine. Redfin CEO's prediction, he basically reported that people are, they're seeing the data that big city people are moving out to get bigger houses. New York, San Francisco, Seattle. So if they're living in a small house or condo type of situation, they're going outside where it's a smaller town, much cheaper housing prices, so that they can have more space and have a better quality of life. So we may see the big city price dropping a little bit. Quieter, smaller cities with the good amenities will have a little bit more boost. So I think it's going to even out a little bit, but again, demand is going to be there. Big cities too, $20 million New York City apartment is not going to become like 15 million. Maybe it will. I don't know that market, but you see my point, hopefully. To add on to the last point now, which is number 6, is that now people are stuck at home. People are really using their homes in full way, spending a lot of time at home. You have a home office. If you have kids, it'll be nice to have some space. So the trend of people wanting bigger houses is going to continue, I think. Since you don't have to commute so much, you're going to save money on the gas. The gas price is already low, so you're doing well on that. The 2008 market crash really was because of the bad loans. It was really inflated price, and then the rental price wasn't as strong as now. It was about 30-35% less rent rate compared to now. So that's the number that I look at it pretty carefully, is that so when there's very similar price tag on renting a place or buying a place, people want to buy a place, right? In 2008, the rent price was really low, but the house price went up way more than the rent price, comparative homes, right? And that's where the big difference was. Now, the rent price went up about 30-35%, at least here in the Portland Metro. The house price, even though it's slightly higher than before, it's supported by the rental price. And the number 4, basically the subprime loan in 2008, they made bad loans. I mean, there were some people who I was one of those home buyers. When I first moved to Portland in 2005, I didn't have a job, but they were able to give me a loan based on my past income in Minnesota, and they just projected income. I don't know what they called it, but they gave me a loan, and the house price was about $80,000 more than the house that we sold in Minnesota, and I was able to get it without having a job. And so that was one of the main reasons why the house price went up. There was a bunch of speculators, investors. Because of that, we had a really hard crash. And once I was able to get out of it. When I sold that house, I broke it even. Now those loans really don't exist. The lenders do income and asset verification, and they're actually tightening the lending. JP Morgan announced a couple weeks ago that they're going to have, like, you gotta have at least a 700 credit score, and down payment, I think, I can remember exactly, like 10% or more, and they're making it tighter. Big difference is, back then in 2008, some people made a lot of money by producing bad loans, and a lot of people lost because of that, the interest rate peaking and the monthly mortgage month just going through the roof. They had to sell it. They had to sell the house, or they had to get out of it because they couldn't afford that kind of thing. On top of that, the oil price was so high, people were double whammied. And the unemployment, there's no e-commerce where you could start your own business easy way. So, but now the virus is the enemy, and we're all in it together. And so that was number 4. Number 3, so in 2008, there was really no government bailout for people. They had the bailouts for big companies, but in 2020, the government is bailing out people as well. Probably the biggest reason right now that we're not going to have a market crash is because the demand is super high. There aren't that many homes to buy. There are a ton of buyers right now. We had like inventory shortage for the last 2, 3, 4 years, maybe 5 years. And because of the interest rate is really low, the rent went up so high, people want to buy. Demand is really high right now. In 2008, it was opposite. The inventory was about 11 months. People wanted to sell, but they were under the water, meaning they owe more than the house was worth. And the buyers were afraid that they're going to overpay and they're going to have more price reduction after they buy it, so they were afraid to buy. And I remember when I started the business in 2008, there were so many homes to view. Like one buyer would have easily viewed like 24 homes because there were that many choices. But now it takes about 3 to 4 months to find that property because there's a lot of high competition. There's not many homes to see. The homeowners who wanted to sell, they pull out of the market because of this pandemic. So they're slowly coming back. The housing demand is really high. If the interest rate changes like a point or 1.5 go up to like 4.5 or 5%, we might actually get housing price going down more than I anticipated. But because the rate is so low, that's how, historically when interest rate was low, housing prices stay up or go up. When the interest rate is high, the house price go down because people can afford the high price homes. So if you're still here, that means, wow, that means I may have made some good points, or maybe you're laughing at me because you're like, you're going to be wrong. The market is not going to crash. And I think, like I mentioned earlier, there's a higher chance that the price will actually go up because of the demand, because of low interest, because people want the bigger houses. The industry is going to change its form, so the economy will still grow. We have the really strong e-commerce, so you can start your own business and sell products, sell service, and you can still make money. There's no really subprime loan that really hurt us in 2008. The housing price bubble isn't as big as 2008. Sellers want to sell, buyers want to buy, and so there's enough equity that people, if they're really in trouble, cannot make the payment, they can go ahead and sell it because of there's equity built. I bet the stock market is a lot more volatile than the housing market. People need places to live. People can live without the dividends. For some people, I guess, maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, so if you like this, give me a thumbs up. Is there a thumbs up on LinkedIn? One more fact that I forgot to mention is that for regular homeowner who need to buy a home and live there and raise kids, you're going to have a little bit less competition because of right now the investors are not really having a good appetite to buy properties. Airbnb owners are trying to sell, or they're trying to convert into a more like a long-term lease kind of thing. Investment on real estate, there's going to be opportunities. Don't get me wrong. The supply and demand will balance out, and as long as the interest rate stays low, I think the housing market will be just fine. Whether we get the second wave of the infection rate or not this winter, that's what I boldly predict, or making educated guess. I think we need to do like Zoom happy hour or something, because it's more fun. If you want to do like the Zoom happy hour type of thing, let me know. I'll see what I can do to put something together. If you already have a group and let me alone, please invite me. Cheers. Yeah, that's good. Or the housing market